engineering questions you're giving me. Next time we'll walk with an engineering partner. But I know a lot of you here are engineers and anybody can answer. But anyway, I think Chris should be able to.
Afternoon, everybody. Based on the cost of the system that the auditor recommended, the kilowattage cost was $33 per kilowatt. So I guess compared that to JPS, who is at presently $30, if you look at it over a 7-year period with a 10% inflation, then you would be constantly at 30 while JPS is increasing. Right, right. Jamaica, we're speaking of.
Is there a standardized cost for audits? How do you go about determining that? Who determines that?
But you know there's not a standardized cost for audit.
There are no standardized businesses, so and
That's question one. What's the arrangement you have with UTEC? You say there is a partnership. What's that really?
Okay, you want to go ahead?
okay. For UTEC, the partnership is really based on the grant that we got from IDB. IDB in terms of the training of the certified energy auditors. Okay. So we have an MOU with UTEC for that component of that grant, that project that we're undertaking right now. They started training since 2008. But okay. We have utilized them in other areas as well as advising us on the more technical aspects of the whole energy line.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that you are excluding other players, consultants, and from
No.
As a matter of fact, on our website, we have a list of certified energy auditors that you can utilize. I think your name is on it too.
Right, okay.
Mr. Lee,
we're inviting others here who have done the certification course through PCJ to sign up and let us learn the list so that you can be called to give an audit.
Okay.
We want I think we now have what, 15? 15 certified energy auditors. They're training more, but we know that at least 35 up to 2009 were trained by PCJ, and now we have established a local chapter at UTEC, and they're continuing the training. So we know that a lot of engineers here can just get certified by doing the exam. You have to do an exam. So, which you know, because you're on the list, right? Okay.
One more question.
Yeah.
In terms of obtaining the loan, you have to go through a bank,
yes.
A commercial bank, so they require the usual security and all of
Yes.
that goes with
Yes.
the loan, right? So that's usually an obstacle for maybe a lot of entities.
Mm-hmm.
So what's been done about that? Because I mean, we have had this loan for a while, and I don't think it's been well used for a lot of, mainly probably because it's not easy to access. So what's new? What's new?
I thought you'd never ask. Let me answer that, because it's on everybody's mind. The loans are hard to get because, one, people don't know enough about renewable energy and conservation, which is part of our strategy. Being here, having Wayne on that program, we are doing it covers 3 components. It covers the demand study, the training of energy auditors, as well as actually identifying SMEs so we can showcase the savings, right? Now, access to energy. We also have to train the bankers because, like me, I just want to lend money. It wasn't as easy as that. This is the hardest product to lend money for, because you have to understand this and kilowatts and everything. You have to understand it. You understand me and speak the language. So good thing I have some good help so my brain can lengthen. But you're right. It is a problem. And this is why we have specific partners who are willing to sacrifice the spread and lend for energy. EXIM is one of those. The National People's Cooperative Bank is one, and NCB they have actually indicated. RBTT has also indicated. So we hope when we get around to all of them to remind them that we do have a real partnership overall and that it really extends to the country saving a lot of money and really to our survival, that they all need to be a part of it and let it cut into a little of their bottom line. Not easy.
Okay, my name is Tracy Graham.
Wait, 1 minute, sir. If I might, Mr. Lee, the difference between the DBJ now lending the funds is that there's a lot more public education going on around. Before, why the loans would have been slow to take up is because people didn't understand. Now more people are being open, being educated as to what can be done. The Ministry of Energy and Mining putting on forums over and over. Forums like these are helping everyone to understand. So I would say that is what would help the fund to move and to help the country to be better in terms of its energy.
I have two comments. One has to do with possibly a suggestion to moving towards standardizing the cost of the energy audit in the same way that you have other components of cost in construction and retrofitting. If it could be looked at on a per square foot basis, so you may not know what the overall cost is going to be in terms of a total, but is there any way that in the process of training and organizing to have these audits more available, more accessible, more affordable to people who may not even be choosing to go for a loan at that time, but who are wanting to start the process so that they can have a sense of what it may cost, what per square foot. I don't know if that's something that can be done. The second thing is, my comment would be, as it relates to the commercial banks, you can do a lot of public education about programs that are available. I think one of the frustrations that a lot of small businesses, including our own, face is that when you go to the banks, the requirements to qualify for the loans as it relates to collateral and all kinds of things, and earnings in relation to what they are prepared to lend. If they're going to continue with those same requirements, most of us will not qualify for these loans, which at the end of the day will help us to operate our businesses more efficiently. So if there is any way that there could be some sort of discussion and concession made so that this program can get on the ground, off the ground, I should say.
First question. We are still in discussions with UTEC in terms of matters like that, but it's very hard, as you know, to standardize because you don't know what's the size of the business. You may go to a farm, they have one chicken facility, ventilated chicken house, and another one may have 7. But as you say, maybe a square footage, something that we can talk about and maybe come to. And I think we have started talking to them on those matters. The second point, in terms of collateral security for the loan, it's an age-old question. The banks are going to need collateral. But what we have been saying to them is that you could take the equipment, and because usually